All right, it's my 7th video in the Total Gym Training Series, and I am doing shoulders today, handstand push-ups. I'm going to teach you guys some of the things that you can do at home with the Total Gym and a couple of other pieces in order for you to get nice looking, functional, and strong shoulders. All right, I'm doing 10 repetitions to kind of get started here. The Total Gym right now is set at level 6, which is the highest that it will go in the inversion. So I'm taking you guys to a nice warm-up. I'm using a crusher. That's a good one to develop the chest, but it's also great to pre-fatigue the shoulders. And I'm telling you, 10 to 15 repetitions with about 30 seconds rest in between sets is good enough to get a nice workout with the crusher. And again, I want to emphasize the fact that, of course, you'll see the pecs working, but the things that you don't see working are the wrist and the forearm muscles. So this is a great one to develop overall upper body strength at home in conjunction with the Total Gym if you can't get to a facility. Hello and welcome to the 7th video in my Total Gym series of Back in Shape with T. I'm Tarashe, and today we are focused on shoulders, right? The lateral head, the front head, and the posterior head of the deltoid. So what you just saw me doing was the crusher. Although you can obviously see that the crusher works the pecs. Actually a great way to warm up the shoulders. Some experts say there are 7 heads in the shoulder. I don't dispute them. Some people are doing a lot more research. Particularly, when we talk about the muscle, we talk about 3 muscle separation. That is the anterior, posterior, and lateral head of the shoulder up here. And when we talk about the joints, we talk about 4 joints, right? The glenohumeral, the acromioclavicular, sternoclavicular, and scapulothoracic. And that's to the posterior portion of the body. And I'll show you an exercise that I do to kind of warm up the scapulothoracic muscles of the posterior deltoids before we get into these handstand push-ups on the Total Gym. All right, I want to show you the different size crushers. This is a much bigger crusher. This is your average crusher, and it's about 88 pounds of pressure. So these the tensile strength on this coil is 88 pounds, and the tensile strength on this coil is 150 pounds. And as you can see, there's a significant difference in size between these two, and thickness as well. So these are great for developing strength athletes at home. So if you have kids who need to develop some upper body strength for whatever sport, the crusher is a great thing to have for home. And this requires a lot more body English. And this one, I feel my grip gets so much work, and my wrists are getting so much work. It's great for wrestlers, great for arm wrestlers, anybody who needs to get some upper body strength. And by the way, there's a third smaller one. This has about 60 pounds of pressure, and this is the kind of one that I use for my teenager at home, right? So I'm having him do, between the 60-pound and the 88-pounder. So we're going to get into some handstand push-ups. We're going to show you how to use the crusher within our workout. All of that and the chest expander coming up on Back in Shape with T. All I know, and what I've known for years, is that we're trying to effectively develop the lateral head, posterior portion, and I will talk about that soon, and the front head, the anterior deltoid. We're talking 4 major joints of the deltoid. The ball and socket joint is called the glenohumeral joint, right? So the humerus bone ends up here. The acromioclavicular joint, the AC joint, those are joints that typically will get hurt. This is a great exercise to warm up, the joints of the shoulders. Give a good, solid crushing to the crusher. See, I'm not a player. I just crush a lot. Old school joke. That's a big pun in Joe. All right. Also, there's the sternoclavicular joint of the shoulders, and most people would sit atop of the manubrium, and we'll talk about the importance of making sure that you maintain strength and all of those muscles surrounding those joints because you will get wear and tear, particularly if you are doing exercises or sports like golf, tennis, swimming, anything that eventually the shoulder comes into play, especially if you don't have the greatest of form and you don't use a lot of hip and torso and you use too much shoulder. These are important. And even for boxers, these are important. This is a great addition to push-ups. Even if you're a boxer, of course, if you're a wrestler, there's no doubt that this is a great substitute. Again, try 15 of these. 4, 5, 6. You can see me getting tired. 7. It's hot in the studio. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now my biceps are getting tired. 15. Definitely good for wrestlers. Fire trouble out there. So we talked about the glenohumeral joint, the acromioclavicular joint, which is, they're all in this area, the sternoclavicular joint. There is another joint, not that kind of joint, but a different joint. The fourth shoulder joint is in the back, and that's the other head of the shoulders we talk about, the posterior chain, the scapulothoracic joint. That's the scapula, where the scapula, those wings in the back, which meet the thoracic bony part of your spine. The scapulothoracic joint is very important. And this chest expander, see this? Really has nothing to do with my chest. It is stretching the chest, no doubt. But this is really well working the rear deltoids, as you can see here, the back of the arms, everything in the posterior chain. Squeeze. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As I wing out. 9. You see my scapula. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And if you know where to look, you know where to look. You saw the rear deltoid, the posterior head of the deltoid working with this chest expander. This to me is one of the best exercises that you could do at home to effectively strengthen the rear deltoid. Also, because we get so much tension in this portion of the body, because the muscles are always working to the anterior portion for most of our movements and activity of daily living, what you're going to find is you need to find a way to do some type of back exercises. That is one of the biggest reasons back in the 90s when I decided to get a total gym that I could do pull-ups at home. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Keeping my back to you, showing again those rear deltoids in the upper portion of the shoulder. See the scapular bones right there, and watch me squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On top of that bone is a muscle. 11. And that's the rear deltoid. 12. Whoa. Fatigue set in on that one pretty good. So again, the chest expander is a great rear deltoid exercise, similar to taking some dumbbells and squeezing back with the rear delt flies. Using this in a standing position, I like it because it forces you into good posture. Chest up, abdominals tight, long neck, and awesome posture. Here you'll also see some tricep development as well. It's because the tricep acts as a stabilizer. Once the elbows are locked out into place and you have resistance against anything in your hand, when you have that locked out tricep, you're going to have some muscular action there. So before we get to the total gym, I'm making sure that I'm warming up these muscles consistently, and that was scapulothoracic. I'm going to show you another crusher. This bad boy is about 100 and 60 pounds, I'm sorry, 150 pounds or 155 pounds of pressure. So this is a much thicker, I'll show you the difference. This one's for the little guys and girls in your life. This one is the average 88-pound one. And this, you could see a much thicker spring than this. So when you're doing this one, especially again, if you're a wrestler or an arm wrestler, this is a great one because you have to work on wrist strength to get this bad boy going. And I really, when I tell you, I gotta put into it. And the biceps, oh, whoa. And the biceps also have my wrist wrap on, so I was getting a little fatigued. It popped out of my hand. But again, the more you do this, the more pressure you put, the biceps absolutely are working. So I gotta put more body English into this and more focus because it's harder, way harder. I'll do 5, 3, 4, oh my God, holy crap, 5, oh. Maybe I shouldn't wear myself out, but that's still good. It's great to develop a little grip strength with your hands, you know, good grip strength with your hands, and a way to develop muscle in the wrist. Now we're ready to do some total gym handstand push-ups. I'm gonna have us do 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions. So I might start my first set off with 15, then I'll go right down into, or pardon me, scratch that. I might start my first set off with 20 and then drop down to 15 for the final 2 sets. So that's where we're coming up, using the total gym to work the deltoid muscles. Even with that tense strength there, that 150-pound tense, I was really squeezing it, had to use a lot in the joint there, in my acromioclavicular joint, which is injured from a car accident. My AC joint did not get that much stress in there, so it's a great way to warm up the shoulders. All right, I'm gonna hit 20 repetitions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, this is not easy, 18, 19, and 20. All right. Whew, not easy at all. I might do just about 5 repeat jump squats. 2, 3, 4, 5. And back down for 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm wearing out here. 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. 11. Oh, my shoulders are on fire. I'm calling it a day at 11. I'll do 2 more sets of 10 instead of trying to get this 15 and 15. Woo! I'm feeling it. I might take myself over here now and do some split squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other leg. Watch my posture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back down and try to get 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Oh my God, holy smokes, I'm really feeling those. I'm gonna need to take some extra rest in between sets. Oh my goodness. While you're working out at home, think about all of the principles of exercise that you need to incorporate, things that you shouldn't be neglecting. Flexibility is one of those things. While I can remember, while I'm sweating, I'm gonna straddle, lock my knees, push my hips all the way back, and I'm gonna hold a straddle stretch with these knees locked. I'm trying to stretch the hamstrings and get those hips open. I'm pushing my hips back. So about 70% of my weight is toward my heels, even though my feet are flat on the ground. Relax the lower back here a bit. A good stretch in between sets. I'm gonna take a few more seconds rest. So we talked a lot about muscular energetics. One of the energetic systems that we talked about is oxidative system, or using oxygen, moving into that more aerobic phase. So anything more than 15 to 20 reps. That particular range is for muscular endurance, the type 1 red muscle fibers. Obviously, my muscles are too fatigued, and this is too much resistance for me to try to push up that type of rep range. So I have to keep my rep range in the 8 to 10 reps, and that's where muscles grow, and that's basically where I want to be. Something tells me, and not something, common sense tells me, using those crushers beforehand, 3 sets of 15, and then rear delts, sufficiently fatigue my muscles to where level 6 on the total gym makes a huge difference. And I can barely squeeze out 10 that last set. I'm gonna try to knock out 10 here. Wish me luck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I could have probably have done 11, but a little dab will do ya. That's it for me for today. Totally wiped out. A great shoulder workout. So if you're stuck at home, you need to have the best available. One of the best things you can use is a total gym apparatus, because it doesn't really put pressure on your joints. Again, almost no pressure on my joints even after all of that. Almost 100% feeling in the muscles. So that's where you want it in order to grow and develop muscles. You develop, nice shoulder muscles. You look really good in a suit, really good in a t-shirt, really good in nothing. So you definitely want to be able to develop your shoulders. Again, the crusher, the chest expander, and the total gym. 3 nice little apparatuses that you can use, and that's right, apparatuses is what they are. It's no such word as apparati. I actually had to crush somebody for trying to say that was a word. So 3 apparatuses that you can use, although it sounds bad, a young man from Harlem, I'm not young either, but saying apparatuses, you think it's wrong, but it's right. But I digress. Back to what I was saying before. The total gym, chest expander, and the crusher. Things that you can use to develop great upper body strength, good shoulder health, and aesthetically pleasing shoulders. So get on it. I'll catch you next time. This was my 7th video in the Total Gym series. I hope you've been liking them. I'll catch you guys next time. Stay strong.